For your CWP Pro server or installation, next thing you want to do after you have successfully installed is, for convenience, you want to change the PHP versions on your server, and also you want to make multiple PHP versions available, especially if you are trying to use this to power a reseller web hosting business. That's important. Now, if you come to your CWP Pro dashboard and you scroll all the way down, you can see what the default PHP version for your site currently is. And you can see right now the default PHP version for this site is actually PHP 5.6. Now, this is not good enough. So what you want to do is you want to, under the navigation, just search for PHP, and you want to go to your PHP selector. And then when you get to your PHP selector, what you want to do first is you want to install additional versions of PHP. Now, this is easy to do. So what you want to do is you want to select what additional versions of PHP you want to make available on your server, and then you just want to install those versions. So for this server, I probably want to have PHP 7.3. I'm just going to go for the highest version of PHP 7.3. I'm going to go for the highest version of PHP 7.4. I'm going to go for the highest version of PHP 8.0. And then I'm going to go for the highest version of PHP 8.1. Now, once I select all the versions of PHP I want to install on this server, the next thing is just to save and build those PHP versions. So I start to compile and build and install, and once I click to do that, PHP starts CWP starts installing these additional PHP versions on my server. Now, installing PHP versions sometimes can take a bit of time, and you don't have to sit down and watch it. So once you set that these PHP versions be installed, you can actually leave and do other things and get busy with other things, because this can take a while. We are compiling about 3 different versions, 1, 2, 3, 4. These are 4 different versions of PHP, so this will definitely take a while. And then each time you log back into your server, you can check to see if this is complete or not. And what you need to do to check if it is complete is just check your logs. And when you check your logs, you would see if it is complete. Of course, there will be nothing to see there, but if it is still running, you would actually see that things are running on your server and things are being installed on your server. So this is not something you want to sit down and watch. It can actually take a while. Now, what you want to do is you want to set up this process, and then once the process is in motion, you just want to go do other things and then come back to check when that is done. So once you have successfully compiled additional versions of PHP, you can come to your PHP version switcher, which will be the default PHP for your server, and then you can just decide to switch that version. Now, the PHP selector is going to make available different versions of PHP across your site, but then the PHP version switcher is going to switch the default PHP on your server. So right now, the default PHP running on this server is PHP 5.6. And then we can change the default version, for instance, to something like PHP, I think 7.4. Let's look for the highest version of 7.4. That will be 7.41. And once you choose to use that 7.41 as the default version, you can just save and build, and then just like before, this will take a while to complete, and you can monitor the process. So once it is complete, you would see, oh, this is complete. But then if it is not complete yet, you would see things being displayed telling you that okay, we're installing things and all of that. And as you can see, this is being installed on this server. So once the installation is complete, the only other thing you probably want to do is just probably to do a server reboot. It is not necessary, but you just probably want to do a server reboot and everything would be fine. So then means that you have changed the default version of PHP on your server to 7.4. It also means that you have additional versions of PHP available on your server, so that at every point in time you can easily switch between PHP versions. Let me quickly show you how to get that done before I round up this video. So here is an example of your end user panel. Now this is what you would have as a control panel for each of the websites that you host on your CWP Pro installation. Now, in order for you to switch your PHP version, you can just come right here to search and then just search for PHP and then go for your PHP selector. Remember, we installed different versions of PHP for under the PHP selector. So you come back to the PHP selector, and then what you want to do is you want to choose your domain name. So just pick your domain name, and then that displays everything that you have on that site. And then you have the available PHP versions. You see everything right there. So right here on this server, we have available PHP 5.6, we have 7.3, we have 7.4, and we have 8.1. Now you can now decide to pick any version of PHP because you already made it available. And then once you pick the version, all you want to do is to update the version, and you have PHP version changed for each of your sites. And that's how to do it. It's so simple. I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.